great to see you right here on Bite Size TV. I'm your host, Sir.
And I'm Courtney Camaro. And in the studio with us are the West Coast legends in hip hop.
All right, so let's get right back to it. Over to you. Let's go.
Well, thank you, Sir and Courtney. Let's get back into our discussion on We're All in the Same Gang. This year marks the 24th anniversary of that project. Now, maybe a year before that, they did Self-Destruction with the Stop the Violence movement. Do you think that inspired the whole We're All in the Same Gang project? Did you guys feel like, oh, the East Coast did it, the West Coast should do it as well? Or where do you think it came from?
I definitely think it inspired it. Because when I saw it, I thought we should do one out here.
Yes.
So when it came up, it was only natural or logical that we did do it, because there was such a problem out here that it needed to be done.
Yep.
You know, and I remember Stop the Violence, and I thought it was a dope song. So I always wanted to be a part of something like that.
Right.
So I was glad.
And
I think it was Mike Conception's brainchild, really. He spearheaded that entire project. I think he called every artist personally.
Like he better do it.
you better do it.
No, I was surprised. I mean, people always, they might feel that about him, but he's very respectful and very professional. You know what I mean? I remember getting a call and saying, "Hey, man, we'd love to have you down." And I do think it was inspired by that, and I think all of it was inspired by We Are the World. Because they had We Are the World, they had the King Celebrate Holiday. Remember the posse got Sun City? I Won't Play Sun City. Bunch of posse records.
Yeah, it was more conscious rap back then. Before we went to the break, we were talking about how some of the video was shot in the Nickerson Garden housing projects. How was that experience? And did a lot of the residents in that area participate in the video that day?
Definitely. The experience was great because we had heard about it's an infamous spot to this day, and we had heard a lot about it. So I know, me personally, I was nervous. I hope they're receptive to us coming here and what we were doing, because we were all from different neighborhoods, and but they were into the music. It was all about hip hop. And so everybody came together under that, and I thought that was beautiful. The kids especially were into it the most. The older people were a little skeptical about it. They were like, here we go again, what's gonna happen after this? That was really the big question. Okay, you guys are doing a song, but what are you doing within the community? And that was a big question too. But Mike Conception, like Jeff said, really got into the community and did a lot of things for the area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was a big Reebok truck out there, and they provided pumps for all of the kids.
Yep.
I remember walking around the project. We was walking through people's laundry.
We did.
If you watch the video, we moving people's
That's
laundry
real.
out the way. But from the perspective, they were telling me, because there was a holding area for everyone. And I know some of the artists on the song had kind of represented gang culture,
Yes.
And they were telling me, because I didn't know much about it at the time, but they were telling me, tell everybody to come out and hang out, because there's going to be no problems today, because we happy that y'all in our hood. And they was like, yo, Jazzy Jeff, man, we love the fact you over here. And I was like, Def Jeff. And they just kept calling me Jazzy Jeff, so I was Jazzy Jeff for the entire video shoot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you feel that song had on the hip hop culture at the time? Do you think it helped bring awareness to gang violence?
I think it brought awareness, but I don't think anything stopped because of it.
Right.
I don't think anything ever stops because of those songs. I think that they bring awareness and they get the dialogue going. But I honestly don't think, and I can't tell you statistically, but I don't think there were any less killings around the same time. I think the most impact was when Farrakhan called that truce. I think that had a huge impact. And I think this was the thing that got the dialogue going, because people all over the world didn't know about gang violence to that level,
I do believe, though, there was a ceasefire at the time that we put out the song. From the time we started recording the song to the time we put it out, I do believe that there was a ceasefire in the area. But like he said, with Farrakhan calling a truce, that's when you can really see the numbers and the difference in the neighborhood.
Okay, one last question. We have a minute to go. We're coming up on the 25th anniversary of We're All in the Same Gang. Do you feel that type of song is necessary today? Should there be a reunion? What do you think? Money B?
I think that it would be useful. Like, I think the message is still relevant. So if you got, say, you know, like YG and Nipsey Hussle and Kendrick, you know, but the thing about it now is, you know, all of these artists, they're all from different sets and they all work together. So I think the fact that, you know, you can have YG, who's a blood from Compton, working with Nipsey, who's, you know, a Crip from Rolling 60s, just the show of that unity in itself can show people that, hey, we can work together.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So not necessarily like it has to be a song preaching, don't do this, don't do that, but just by a show of unity within the hip hop community, these artists are pretty much furthering the message.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if they don't even know it.
Okay.
You know, it's like it got through in some way, whereas it's not all about that. Like, we can overlook that to some degree to get something done.
Yeah, because those cats grew up on the song.
Yeah.
You know, they were younger when they saw the video,
That was
so that's
before
definitely.
they were born. But anyway,
I do, and the last thing I was gonna
saw
say,
it, though, when they were younger.
last thing I was gonna say, I think that when you play that song today, some of those problems still exist. So I think that song will always be relevant, and as long as you have oppression, you're gonna have hip hop, and you're gonna have people out speaking about it.
Yes.
So many songs from back then, those problems exist today. So it's definitely a relevant song still, 25 years later.
Absolutely.
cool. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us this afternoon to discuss We're All in the Same Gang. Now back to you, Sir and Courtney.
Deep, wasn't it, Courtney?
Yes.
That was deep. All right, listen,
Thank
don't
you, guys.
forget to keep it locked. We got Lock West Monster performing, and Billionaire Buck is coming up soon.
Right. And when we come back, I will also be sitting down with actor, director, and comedian Ricky Harris for our Celebrity 411 segment. So make sure to stay tuned. Do not move. DJ Sincere.
Oh, DJ Sincere.